Good evening mga kalaro and welcome to the Council of Titos, the show on the Laro-Laro channel that talks about a different kind of game, the reality TV game show and social experiment that has run for over 2 decades, Survivor. I'm Chief Bisdak, Joel Parcon, and with me as always is Juxta Potato, Jao Atienza. What's up, Jao? How are you doing?
I'm pissed! I'm pissed!
Yeah, we are going to talk about that episode tonight.
But I'm not pissed. We were just talking about
Yeah.
food. Food is always good.
Well, food was also the reason why that person got pissed. But anyway, not with us tonight is the man with the thoughts. Our thoughts go to the man with the thoughts. Martin, get well soon, buddy.
Yep.
And anyway, tonight we're going to talk about the 10th episode of Survivor Season 46 entitled Run the Red Light. But before we begin, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and as well as the notification bell so you get updated whenever we come up with new episodes on this channel. And for those of you who don't want to have to look at our mugs every time we talk about Survivor, you can always go to where you get your podcasts and just search for Council of Titos. And so, without further ado, let's begin.
Right.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to talk about that part of the episode first.
Yeah. Your thoughts on the Liz blow up?
Yeah, I had that as one of my thoughts for this week, right? Um, yeah, I at first I really felt sorry for her. I mean, she gave this story about it being her ritual with her daughter every
Mhm.
time, and it's not just any ritual. It's their Wednesday ritual before they go home and watch Survivor. So it's
Yeah.
so neatly connected with her experience on Survivor as well. So I was like, I felt really sorry for her. I mean, and then the
Mhm.
fact that she says she hasn't been eating she hasn't eaten for 72 hours.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then she gets this opportunity, salivates. If she had any saliva to give, she would have probably been drooling all over
Yeah.
before the challenge happened. Then I got to thinking. It goes back to something that we talked about earlier in this season. She
Mhm.
knew. She knows that she's allergic to a lot of stuff that they give in Survivor that's available to them in Survivor. She knows that it's gonna be difficult for her, right?
Mm.
And and the fact that she she was expecting a sort of pity what selection from Q, someone who has she has been campaigning against ever since they met, right?
Yeah.
They got on the same beach, and yeah, it becomes harder for me to reconcile or to root for her, right?
Mm.
Because we have to
Yeah.
go back to the idea. I mean, it was Q's choice to make,
Yeah.
and she had just voted for him. Could you really blame Q for doing that, for not choosing her, right?
Whoa.
I see we're on the opposite sides of this.
Oh no,
Of
I
oh,
actually
okay.
agree.
Mm.
But the show disagrees, right?
Mm.
The Because that's what the show presented it as, right? Like everything that the show was showing us was that this was a straight up villainous move
Mm-hmm.
by Q, right? I mean, Ben even said like he's a villain,
Mm-hmm.
dude, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like the show was telling us with Ben saying he's a villain and showing the Liz break and giving the Liz and giving the sob story of Liz in this particular episode. It was it was the show telling us that basically you're supposed to side with Liz on this one, at least emotionally. And something that they talk about in Survivor, or something that the survivors like to talk about, are those like moments or things that are like outside of the game already, you know
Mm-hmm.
right? They talk about that sort of thing, particularly in the new season.
Yeah.
Usually in the context of like social goings on and whatnot. But this could have been an opportunity for, outside of the game, be a decent human being kind of thing.
Mm.
So, Q was solely on game mode, and like everybody on the internet was solely on game mode. But then there is also the sort of argument that um sometimes you have to just be a human being,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Um, you know, that's I suppose what the kind of counter argument
Yeah.
is, you know. Um, Q could have been the the human being there.
The bigger
Um,
person. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Uh, the other thing that they didn't show, which I found really interesting, was that Kenzie wanted to like give up
I think both,
her
but I think both Kenzie and Tiff
and Tiff, right? They wanted to
offered.
be
Yeah.
like, go ahead, but then Q was like, no.
Yeah, that probably would have. I mean, if I get what you're saying about the show telling us that okay, they're signaling to us okay that Q is a villain, and then if
Yes.
they probably had shown that if they had shown that it would probably have taken it overboard already. So
Yeah.
I guess they're still trying to give Q some sort of out because even this was also mentioned on No Buffs. Even Jeff gave him an out, right?
Mhm.
uh he mentioned Jeff when he asked Q to pick the fourth person to go on the reward. He told Q about how Liz is like sobbing and like begging and everything. But then again, he reminded Q. But then again, this is a game for $1 million, right? So
Yeah.
I think that Survivor was trying to straddle the line of showing that okay, this is a villainous move, but he is also in his own rights, right? And probably if they had shown that whole Kenzie and Tiff thing, it would have tipped it over to like too villainous, right?
Yeah. And I guess, yeah, yeah, Jeff doesn't want to have such villainous villains in the new era. So uh,
Yeah.
missed opportunity as far as I'm concerned
For whom?
for
For
Survivor as a
Survivor
show. Yeah,
to
missed
to, to come
opportunity for
out with
Survivor.
to come up with like a new villain.
Yeah. It's like, it's it looks like, well, if the what's it, if the next time on Survivor is anything to go by, we're about to get the Maria villain as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about Maria being a villain. So,
Mm-hmm.
this is something we uh that we saw in secret scenes, the Maria being a villain to Ben. So, I'm hoping that comes out just so that we have villains. Um, yeah. Does this mean Q is making it to the end as the zero vote finalist?
Most probably he is going to end up being a victim of the game that he said isn't played anymore, right?
Yeah.
He's getting brought to the end as a goat.
Yeah.
I think right now he's a bigger goat compared to Venus. I mean, Venus just irritates people, but she hasn't really done anything to the level of what Q has done. Although
Yeah.
Although I have to also again I go back to what Liz was saying about Q blowing up her game. Again, I already expressed this in the previous episode of ours. I really do not see why she thinks that Q blew up her game just because his chaos, the chaos that he brought to that tribal, overshadowed the fact that it was her plan that took out who was it? That was Steven, right? That was the Steven vote,
Yeah.
right?
I think it was the Tevin vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we kind of agree, right? That like
Yeah.
it was better off that it's better that she's kind of under the radar, or
Mm-hmm.
that she was kind of under the radar if that was indeed her move. And in Final Tribal, she's like, ah, actually, and then
Mm-hmm.
like pushes her
She
glasses up.
actually has glasses to push up, right?
Actually, it was my move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But the thing that I find super like interesting,
Mm.
I use the word interesting too much when I can't think of like the right word to use.
Or a nice
Um,
word to replace something that would have been bad.
no. It's um it's, I suppose
Intriguing.
it something that shows the strength of Liz's game
Mm-hmm.
is that she voted with Q.
Oh, for this episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Like like Maria was, you know, you should vote Tiffany out
Mm-hmm.
and not Q.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me wonder, that makes me wonder um how Liz like handled herself after blowing up,
Mm. Well, yeah,
right?
she did say like I mean she thanked everyone for letting her vent, right?
Yeah.
Basically. So and I think that I think that among the survivors, I mean among the castaways right now, she's one of the probably one of the more mature ones. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, mature there. That's the
Yeah.
not that's what the word interesting was standing in for. Mature. That was a very that was
It
a
was
very
a
mature thing for her to do.
mhm.
Uh yeah, blow up and then okay, back
Yeah.
to playing the game.
Yeah.
Um, have a human moment and then back to game bot mode.
Yeah. And then, I mean that also I mean the fact that she voted with Q with that block for this episode at the very least. Also, for me, I think a lot of it can be attributed to Maria.
Mm,
Maria was the one who sold the idea to Liz, made her feel as if she was the most important vote. Right?
yeah,
You are the vote. She said that you are the vote. Right.
yeah.
So Liz, I mean Maria, really showing off her her skill at the social and strategic game.
Gosh, so good. Maria's so good.
Maria's so good. It's just that her hand is slowly getting shown. Right.
Yeah.
Her tricks are getting recognized or getting realized or being discovered. And I don't, yeah, and like what you said, if next time on is to be believed, it seems that it's all gonna come out to light.
Yep. And it's going to be Ben. I'm gonna put that in as an early prediction, like right now.
Dude, that was my prediction too. I had it in my notes. Ben is gonna like, what? Maria's been it's been Maria all along, right? That does not rock, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, because last week's next time on Survivor broke the mold about about it being or yeah, about like the whole red herring thing
Mm-hmm.
because Liz is gonna have a breakdown. Liz being Liz, it's just a red herring.
Mm-hmm.
Uh well played, Survivor editors. Well played.
She did have a breakdown.
Yeah.
Right, so they're telling us they're subverting our expectations now. Right, we've been
Yes.
expecting that these things, these next time ons are red herrings, and
So now we really don't know. And before we talk about Maria's absolutely awesome winning game,
Mhm.
I would just like to congratulate Applebee's on getting so much mileage for their advertising dollars. And also congratulations to Survivor. You've probably secured Applebee's funding for the next 10 years.
Oh, speaking of Applebee's and this whole episode with Applebee's, I have a question. I For you. Do you think that this experience on Survivor has tainted Applebee's for Liz from this day on, from that day on? Do you think that her Wednesday ritual with her daughter is still involves Applebee's, or are they going to Arby's or any of those other fast food chains now?
Well, what I'm going to say is Applebee's, your move.
give her give her a lifetime supply of those what burger is that? What burger? Truffle burger? Was that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Bacon? Bacon?
Yeah. It's like it looked like a bacon wrapped truffle burger or whatever with
I
mushrooms.
don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, it
I've
looked
never been
it
there.
looked really good.
Yeah, it
It
looked
looked
really good.
really good.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that production made sure to put the burger last, during
Yeah.
the reward,
Yeah. Yeah.
just so that they'd all be so full, and then
Oh gosh.
and then nobody would eat it, which would add to how the Liz was gonna get really pissed.
God.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, I've never been to Applebee's. Um,
Mm.
is it like so ingrained in the? It's probably ingrained in the American lifestyle, the Applebee's as a go to place. I'm thinking if I were to put it here, if it were Filipinos, would it be a Jollibee? I mean, Jollibee is like it has that sentimental factor for us as well. Just probably just the same as how Applebee's has a sentimental tug on someone like Liz, right?
Yeah, yeah. I would imagine it would be something or like a Mang Inasal or something.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
one of those sorts of places where it's
Hmm.
kind of
It's not necessarily like fast food, but it
but
still
then
is
it's
fast
not. Yeah, but then it's not like a proper sit down restaurant,
food. Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay. All right.
It's one of those sort of it's got like a sort of diner kind of feel, right? Like one of
Okay.
those sorts of things, which is something that culturally we don't really have here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The closest thing to a diner you got here are our like calenderias.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
not, I mean, it's here in the Philippines we call it lutong bahay. But yeah, yeah, and then it's like you've got all of it. But anyway, yeah.
yeah.
It's
Well,
not as upscale as American diners. Yeah.
yeah, but the carinderias are what's it? They're more similar to like this thing in Mexico. I can't remember what it was, but I was
Mm.
talking to like this Mexican girl, and when we were like driving around and like I pointed out like carinderia, she was like, "Oh yeah, in Mexico we have stuff like that." And then she like said
She
whatever it
describes what it
was,
is.
and yeah, and then I don't remember what it was, but what the word was, but like yeah, yeah, that makes so much sense. It's
Yeah.
like South America is like the Philippines is South America on the other side of the world,
Yeah.
basically.
And
You
yeah, I mean,
know?
there was a lot of back and forth between Mexico and the Philippines, especially during the heyday of the galleon trade, right? So I suppose that a lot of
Yeah.
the practices here in the Philippines were also being practiced in Mexico. The same,
Yeah.
vis-a-vis. I mean, sorry, the other way around as
Speaking of like South American descent,
well. Mm.
Maria, amazing game.
Yes, she is definitely coming up as a huge social, like I said, social and strategic player.
Yeah, she's I when I was thinking of and maybe this is kind of racist, but she's playing the game that Jesse should have played,
Oh.
right? Like, a little bit more low key.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so far, but then when she turns on Charlie, uh, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to become similar to the Jesse game. But yeah, she's playing very much like Jesse is playing
Mm.
in a way, very sort of low key, super strategic, very tight ally with a white dude. you know?
But I think the difference is that Charlie is also very strategic, right?
Yeah,
As compared to Cody, who
Cody.
was just having the time of his life,
Yeah,
basically, right?
li living his best life out
Yeah,
there.
living,
Oh,
living.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
So, like, um, Maria looks to be the odds-on favorite to win, which
mhm.
means she's probably going to get voted out very soon.
Oh, that's sad, man. That's sad. I mean, I'm really starting to. I mean, my canonical winner pick now is Liz, but I am rooting for Maria and Charlie to like pull all of the strings to get to the finals.
Yeah, but who's Martin's canonical winner pick now? Maria,
Uh,
right?
Maria, it would be Maria now. Yeah.
Not Liz because she was the most important vote.
No. It's Maria now. Wow. So he's probably got the highest chances of getting voted out next.
Well,
But yeah,
but yeah,
Maria.
great, amazing, amazing game. Um, if she keeps on going the way she's going, she's probably going to win, and um, she's probably going to be the one to turn on Charlie, or at least that's uh that's my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Because like uh, what's it? My prediction every week is always like Charlie and Marie are gonna turn on each other. So like that's going to be exactly the same when we have our predictions for the next episode. It's just that I think Maria is going to turn on Charlie
Oh, yeah. Maria and
because
Charlie,
he's
they are a formidable duo right now.
and Charlie challenge beast.
Challenge Beast. I that leads me to think that if Maria is able to downplay all of her moves, Charlie will have a bigger target on his back compared to Maria
Mm,
because his dominance, quote unquote, is still is more obvious than Maria's.
mm.
Maria's working, under the radar, just whispers, conversations here and there. Uh, yeah, getting the numbers and all of that. But
What she
meanwhile, Charlie's like, I'm winning challenges.
what she did with Q was just amazing.
Yeah. Right? I mean, she just went over there, checked in. She even asked permission from Q.
Mm.
Are you okay? Can I sit down? I mean, yeah, that goes to being a mom.
She's a parent coach, right?
Yeah.
That's her.
Ex-
And Q and Q was acting like a child.
exactly. Exactly. Even the way that, if you remember a couple of episodes back, the way that she was dealing with Venus, who was so that was a mom talking to her daughter. You know what? You can be better.
Yeah.
Do better. But then Venus is like, oh, that's her pride. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's already teaching you how to become a better player and survivor.
Uh, the amazing thing about Maria is that she's like redefining the mother archetype in
Mm-hmm.
Survivor,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because like I don't know, she's being very motherly, yes, but then at the same time she's also using that as to her great strategic advantage to be able to pull the numbers together and all of that. A
Yeah.
silent killer, if you will. Like
Yeah.
if she wins, this is going to be like the template for the ladies in their uh, later years. What was it
Uh-huh.
that Evie talked? But yeah, like the
The
women in their 40s or
mhm.
whatever. Like this is the template for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why, yeah. While Liz is my canonical winner pick, I am rooting for Maria. I'm rooting that
Mm,
she does a Gabler, and stays low key, doesn't really get found out, and pulls it out in the end, bringing Q along with her, because
yeah.
he probably trusts her the most now. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of trust in other people, but he probably trusts her the most, and he'll just be a number for her.
The optimal like end game for her is a final three with Q and Venus.
Well, anyone
Well,
who is there with Q
anybody,
and Venus,
anybody.
right?
Well,
Or
here, let's say Liz, Q, and Venus.
Liz, Q, and Venus. I will probably go with Q because he did more things compared to those other two. Maybe
Right? So
no.
I don't know.
I
Like,
don't know, but then again, yeah, Liz does have that Devin vote under her cap. Venus probably is the one who doesn't really have anything there. She thought she had the soda vote, but no, that wasn't hers.
yeah. So like right now our goat watch is Liz, Q, and Venus, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really kind of a race between Ben, Charlie, Maria, and Kenzie.
Exactly.
But then Kenzie is in such a bad spot right now.
Yeah, she right now she's fading.
Oof,
She's fading.
oof. Canonical winner pick. Uh,
But yeah,
such
going
a
back
such a
to
bad
going,
move.
yeah, that was or a bad non maybe.
Mm,
Yeah, going back to Charlie becoming a challenge, or I mean, showing up as a challenge beast. I mean, we've seen how he actually has challenged Hunter
yeah,
in the past couple of challenges, and then with Hunter out, it was up to him, and he is showing that he can. He is a challenge beast. Not just a. He's not just a Taylor Swift fan. He's also a
yeah,
challenge beast, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and kudos to Charlie for doing prep work other than uh printing out the challenges or making the challenges yourself, right?
Puzzles and
Yeah. Now he's
what's
got
it?
those whole grip things, those hand grip things, right?
Yeah.
That's what he used to win the Gabler challenge. From now on, it is the Gabler challenge.
Oh yeah, it is the Gabler challenge. What's it like? I was actually gonna bring that up. That Jeff gave your boy Gabler a shout out.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, Gabler with
The
what did he
entire
say?
state of Alaska,
Yeah, the
whatever it
entire
was.
state of Alaska. He went to space. And I thought I actually thought that Tiff had that in the bag.
Mm,
Jeff was right. She did not move at all
yeah.
the entire time. And where I think it was in No Buffs, they brought it up, but they all I think it was from one of the exit interviews. She said that as soon as she changed her position and sat down, the sweat started going into her fingers. That's when
Okay,
things
makes
went
sense.
bad. Yeah.
Makes sense. But then the idea was, gosh, the idea was to get Q to like
Mm.
not win, and then that point, still such a bad non-move or such a bad move. Like even with Kenzie, right?
Hmm.
To get so hyper focused on, you know, um to get so hyper focused on blindsiding Tiffany, I think was the exact wrong move
Hmm.
for her game.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
mm, like what's in the water in Fiji where you need to like backstab your best friend to win $1 million?
I don't know. I mean, it started with in the new era. I mean, Shan did it to Ricard.
Didn't
Uh,
win.
didn't win. 42. Who was it in 42? Anyway, Jesse and Cody
Didn't win.
didn't win. But then again, Kenzie technically hasn't didn't backstab her best friend or her number one because she wasn't part of that vote. She was just as surprised as Tiff, right?
Yeah. Because I think that like, you know, um even though like even though she ended up even though she ended up voting for Q, I still think that her giving her blessing to get Tiff out was what set it all in motion.
Did she though? She was no, she didn't want anything to do with it. She was thinking that it might not be the right time.
Yeah, yeah. But then no, diba? But then like the fact that she floated the idea out there. I remember
Ah.
Maria, like there was that scene where Maria was asking,
Mm-hmm.
do you want Tiff out or do you just want to flush the idol? Right? And
Oh yeah,
then
yeah. And she's like, I want her out regardless of the idol. Yeah.
yeah, regardless of the idol, right? And so that's kind of what I think put the gears in motion because, um what's it? It was Tiff's closest ally giving the blessing now. All right, it's okay
Mm-hmm.
to cut Tiff. So like, I don't know. I don't know. Just an all
For
around bad
Kenzie.
episode for Kenzie. And when she decides like, no, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to hyperfixate on Q instead of
Hmm.
hyperfixating on Tiff. Like she should have hyperfixated on Tiff.
Yeah,
Um,
she should have pushed that challenge. That vote, right?
yeah. I have a question, and this is what Rob Sesternino says Liz should have done in tribal. She should have
Liz,
voted, yeah, for Liz. She should have voted for
Q.
uh Tiffany,
She did.
or voted, yeah, she should have voted for Tiffany, but then before the votes were read, when it was like if anybody has an idler advantage, now would be the time to play it. Liz
Oh,
stands up, tells Tiffany, I know you have an idol, play it now.
become a K as chaotic as Q. Hmm.
And yeah, and Tiffany plays her idol, and like Kenzie, Liz, and
Tiff
Tiff
and Venus.
become like the dominant group.
Hmm. I
That
don't
should
know.
have been Liz's
Ye-
move.
Yeah, but I don't know if she was thinking as clearly. She was thinking clearly enough to be able to think that.
I mean,
Right.
clearly she wasn't, but that would have been a great
That
move.
would have been a great move. It's a what if. It's definitely a what if.
That would have been her ticket to Survivor 50.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, why don't you think that her outburst gets her a seat in Survivor 50?
That gets her the Sia money, maybe.
Or maybe Applebee's comes out with a new reward, right? The Applebee's lifetime burger and pizza reward. It's so
Yeah, like,
specific to her and her daughter.
I, if shit, if I were Applebee's, I'd be like, you get 2 free burgers every Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
for like the rest of your life.
Right, right. And then
I
I'm
would,
sure
yeah,
that Survivor will second that because that's basically her Survivor ritual. Her
yeah.
the
That's her whole
pre-Survivor.
Survivor story.
Yeah.
At this point, her whole Survivor story is I go to Applebee's with my daughter on Wednesdays,
Mm-hmm.
and when I didn't get Applebee's from Q, I blew up.
Mm-hmm. So
Like her
her
story is basically complete.
yeah, and it's so tied to Applebee's from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and oh yeah, I just wanted to go back to the reward. And first things first, finally, the Sanctuary makes an appearance this season
Yeah. Yeah.
where good things happen. I don't think no, Jeff purposely did not say where good things happen when he mentioned the Sanctuary, right? He did not say you're gonna go to the Sanctuary where good things happen. He
Yeah.
didn't
Did
say it.
did did somebody else say it though? I could have sworn like somebody else said it under their breath.
I don't know. I don't remember hearing, but I don't know. I'm probably
Or
misremembering.
or it could have been
Uh,
me. It could have been me.
they did say it. Well, no buffs. They did say it when they said, "Oh, they go to the sanctuary." And then I think it was because Skeets wasn't available. He wasn't there, so it was just TK who said like yeah, where good things happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and it was just TK and JD. But yeah, I
Well,
mean, first time for first time this season, right when we're like, what? We've got 3 episodes left, and then the Sanctuary finally makes an appearance. I mean, Martin did say that they probably used all this time to like remodel the Sanctuary so that the stuff from Applebee's can fit.
yeah. That's that's it. That's what they were doing.
Yeah, right. They
Oh
needed
man.
to make sure that the Applebee's stuff makes it, and I guess it also makes it a little bit more special now that it only makes one appearance and it's connected to the app to Applebee's,
Yeah.
right?
I was there was that like fan theory, I guess it was, that because there were quite a number of spouses of Survivor fans on this particular season, um that they were going to bring back the family visit
Mm.
But extremely tenuous, right? Extremely tenuous. Banu and
Yeah.
Jess, right? Are there are a number of
Yeah. And
casts.
Tim, right?
Yeah, Tim. Yeah.
Isn't he married?
So
Yeah,
like,
he's married too, right? Because he's the dad and then Maria's the mom. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, like the spouses of big
Uh-huh.
Survivor fans are the ones that ended up on this season. Would have been nice. They didn't get they didn't get the letters, right? It's usually at this time that they
Isn't
get
it?
like
Is
the
it?
letters.
Is it? Isn't like it like a final five or something?
I don't know. Well, anyway,
Anyway, but yeah.
because they were in the sanctuary and it was overnight, so I was expecting like the ghost
Oh.
the ghost voices to come in again.
They installed that was actually the reason they were installing like a hidden projector thing, right? So that all of a sudden in the middle of the night. That's another
Yes.
question that I had because they stayed there overnight. Couldn't they have eaten the burger for a midnight snack,
Yeah.
right? But they still didn't. They couldn't touch the burger.
So much food waste. So much
So
food
much food
waste.
waste. And I was also puzzled when the chef or whoever that was, the server, came out saying, and here's the burger on the house. Wasn't everything on the house? It was a reward. So it was probably like, you know what? We've got a contestant, we've got a castaway who can't eat anything but the burger. We've already ordered everything that's gonna come out, but can you please give us a burger as well? And then that castaway ends up not going to the reward.
For
Right?
sure, on the house. Or watch is like what they don't show us is they actually just get money as part of the reward, but then it can only be spent on Applebee's. And they ran out of all their money and they're like, oh man, we need to have the burger because it's going to like because it's going to add salt in the wound of Liz. All right. Here's the burger, but we have to put it's on the house.
It's on the house. And at first, when it came out, I was like, okay, so they're just giving them one burger, right? Because
Mm.
here's the burger on the house. I was like, okay, so it's just one burger for all four of them, and then they each get one, and no one touches the burger. Oh
Oh,
my god! I'm like,
so much. Oh,
oh yeah,
feel really bad for Liz, but then at the
yeah.
same time, she knew what she was getting herself
Yeah, sure,
into,
yeah. And then
basically.
she still got a gimme from Jeff, right? During
Yeah.
the Unity challenge again. I don't know which interview this came from, but apparently Jeff said that aside from the sack of rice, the personal rice was always an option.
Mm, I mean,
Just
yeah,
like how supposedly ever since then you could always negotiate for a previous
yeah.
reward.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. That's because if we remove the whole like Liz situation,
Mm.
right? Somebody getting a personal pot of rice could add drama,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Because like even Liz was like, "Are you guys sure? Are you guys sure?"
Can
And
you
they were
guys? Do you
like,
think
"Yeah,
that?
you go, girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be like your version of coconut." Um, but if that were like from another season and somebody else got their own little pot of rice, that could create drama, that could create friction,
Yeah.
you know? And yeah, all right. All right, fine, Jeff. Release the show Bible, Jeff.
Release the show Bible. Show us the rules. Show us where it's written that it's always been there.
Yeah, that'd be really cool, right? If they release like all of the documents or whatever after the season, but then I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Because even if he does release it,
Mm-hmm.
people on the internet are going to be like, "Oh yeah, likely story. Yeah, he probably just wrote it after the fact." You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing with the internet.
Yep. Exactly.
There's always going to be somebody out there that disagrees.
Yeah. Sometimes it's us. Anyway. Uh, any other thoughts,
Yeah.
Joe?
Second greedy idol play in a row,
Oh.
or second greedy like
Mm-hmm.
non-idol play in a
Mm-hmm.
row. Either people are getting really good at blind sides, or like, yeah, people are just getting good at blind sides.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we did get that little scene where Kenzie told Tiff, "You're practically in the final six," and Tiff was like, "Not unless you decide to blindside me." And
Yeah,
then Kenzie was like, "No, not yet. Nice idea, but not yet." I was like, "Okay, okay."
yeah. So Tiffany had such a huge blind spot, huh?
Mm-hmm. And she was
Yeah.
like, I'm a betting person, and I am betting on myself getting through this well with my pocket and my I with my idol in my pocket." Well, she did have her idol in her pocket, but she didn't get through it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah. And the other thing is we should now spell cockroach with a Q.
Well, yeah, I already spelled chaos with a Q. It's not chaos with a K for chaos cast. It's not
Yeah.
chaos with a Q as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Q for cockroach because
Mm-hmm.
like he just keeps on surviving.
He keeps on surviving. He is the survivor.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if he doesn't win the season, he is the survivor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fighting from the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other things you want to point out from the episode?
Well, this season is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the back half of the season is amazing. That first half was, you know, eh,
The first four episodes. You
yeah.
were right. You were right. I mean, after that whole what do you call that? The slowdown because of all the hyper focus on Banu's story.
Yeah.
After
Who
that
was
was that got out, we got that out of the way. It's gotten better and better.
Yeah. The I forgot who it was, but like one of the podcasters or like Survivor alumni called it like Banu constipation. Like the
Yeah.
season had like Banu constipation. For the first half.
Mm-hmm.
He was his story was, you know, I think they gave him one too many episodes.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's one of the podcasters also who have been keeping track of the number of confessionals.
Yeah.
Up until now, I think Banu still leads in the number of confessionals.
Yeah.
Right? I think he's got like 85 or something confessionals in those like four episodes. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know, but I guess Survivor's really lucky that the back half of the season is just amazing.
Yeah.
That the cast gave them
Mhm.
such amazing content. I don't like that word, but gave them such amazing content
Yeah.
for the
Who
back half
knew?
of this season.
Who knew that it was the Vibe Tribe that those guys were gonna be the ones coming up with the good moves, like particularly Maria, of course, and Charlie. Right? And even Ben is starting to like, okay, okay, he can see the gears in
Yeah,
his
yeah,
mind are starting to work.
yeah, yeah. Well, we kind of did. We kind of said that like Charlie and Maria are like
Mhm.
really good.
They're in the
You know?
best position. I mean, the conventional thinking was that it was the Yanu three that were gonna be in the best position, but in fact, it was Charlie and Maria.
Yeah, yeah. Q's fault. Q's fault.
Yeah, and now it's the Sega three who have the most numbers, right? There's three of them, and then there's two. to Yanu and to
Nami, yeah.
Nami. Right?
Yeah, Liz and Venus.
This
Who
is
thought
Venus.
that Liz and Venus would be the last two standing from Nami? Right? We're
I
looking at the tribe that had Soda, Tevin, and Hunter.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And and,
And
and
those are
Brandon. But
and I mean those are the first three jury members.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I would be kind of remiss if I didn't mention this, but the jury is really black.
Mm. I was gonna point it out. If Q had been voted out last episode, it I would have pointed it out in my notes that uh, it has been four consecutive uh, African American vote outs,
Yeah, like
starting with Tim.
yeah. Huh. And the I'm just well, the survivor is really lucky that that we have Maria and Venus
Ben, technically.
and yeah and Ben and Q, right?
Yeah, and Q still there. Yeah.
But yeah. What else? What like I just noticed it, but I was like, man, that's not a good look.
Yeah,
That's not a good look.
I was like, okay, is someone gonna point it out again? Like, because I don't remember who pointed it out before, but yeah, remember there was someone was pointing it out. Like, majority of castaways who get voted out early in the merge or something like that are all African American or something. There was something like that. I think that was around the time when this was 40. This was Erica's season, where
Yeah, yeah,
they tried to come together, right? That
yeah,
there's an alliance. Right.
yeah, yeah. But actually, I was about to say something quite racist until I realized that um that Gem is not South Asian, right? Is she?
Uh, isn't she?
Wait, let me take a
I
look.
think she is. I think she is, or at
Uh,
least she's of South Asian descent.
wait, I it's like I wanted multiple times in well, I'm super surviving in the US is my biggest accomplishment. And, I want to go back home to Guyana.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say, but then they got rid of the Indians, right? But then I just realized no, I don't think she's of South Asian descent.
okay. I had the yeah. I thought that she was okay. Well, anyway.
And Jess still salty, man.
Mm.
Asians, come on. But then we have Venus, right? We have
We
Venus.
still have Venus. We still have
We still
Venus.
have Venus.
Yeah.
Middle
The-
East Asian.
yeah. Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Anyway.
anyway, let's go ahead to our predictions.
Yeah.
All right. First, let's keep track predictions from last week.
All right. Last week, Martin said that Ben would get the line and Tiff would play the idol on herself.
Mm-hmm. 0 for 2 there.
Hmm. I said Charlie would get the line. I said Q would stay,
Okay.
and and Tiff would play the idol on herself.
Okay. 1 out of 3. Not bad.
You said that Liz would get the line.
Mm-hmm.
You said that the Liz breakdown was a red herring,
Okay. 0 out of 2.
and that she's going to like try something. That she's gonna be cooking something up.
Wasn't like the blow up something?
Half a
No, of
point.
course.
Half a
No,
point.
no, 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 no. So that's 0 of 3. And 0 of 3 for last week. Okay. Yeah. Who would have known? It was Maria running the red light.
Yeah.
Run the red light. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Okay. For this week, whose line is it actually? The title of next week's episode is My Messy Sweet Little Friend.
That sounds like a Ben line.
Ooh. Is it a Van Halen title?
Well, let me just look that up. Yeah. Uh, it's all just Survivor stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh man. No, no, no. It's a Venus line. It's a Venus line.
Venus line.
I say Venus gets the line.
Uh,
All right.
who is she talking about?
I don't know. Kenzie, Tiff, Maria, Liz, Tiki Man. I don't know.
Tiki Man.
It sounds like something she would say though.
Okay, okay. For me, I'm gonna say it's Kenzie.
Okay.
And as a point of irony, she is actually talking about the the toxic ex, whose name is Q.
Ooh.
Right. So
Yeah.
I do think that Q is once again going to try and bring back now what's called the Yanu 2.
No, he's gonna bring back the six.
Yeah, the 6. Well, there are still two Yanu, there are still two Namis, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so does that mean that there's only one person left out? Is that gonna be Ben? Poor Ben. Uh, right. So, but yeah, no, but he's gonna try and yeah, that will be my other prediction, that he's gonna reach out to Kenzie and try to make another move. He has finally gotten his bearings back after finding himself at the bottom
Mhm.
for the past couple of episodes and trying to quit. Uh, he
Mhm.
now he now wants to move forward. Last episode, he brought Kenzie to the reward, and then this time he'll continue to try and work with her.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But for
Um.
me, yeah, Kenzie is now on high alert as well. So she just might bite on the Q alliance.
Yeah, she probably doesn't have too many options left going forward, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I say Venus gets the line. It's going to be Ben that brings to light the Maria villain
Mm-hmm.
thing. And Maria is going to turn on Charlie. I mean, that's
Ooh.
that's that's my prediction like every that's my
Until it
prediction like
happens.
every yeah. And I'm gonna say it again. Q doesn't get voted out,
Ooh.
right? Q is safe. He's they're going to goad him up.
Mm-hmm.
And hmm just for fun, let's say that Ben gets voted out.
Ooh. Wow. Wow. I'm on the other side. I'm with you, saying that Ben realizes that Maria is actually a villain, or is doing villainous moves, and he also figures out that, because I don't think that a lot of people know that Maria and Charlie are actually working together.
Mm,
But Ben finds out that Maria and Charlie are working together and feels so much betrayal that they were working together without bringing him in as a third, and he will now look to other people to work against the two.
and looks elsewhere.
Yeah.
All right. So my God, I suppose mine is that my prediction is that Ben is going to get voted out because he discovers that Maria was the villain and he's trying to spread that. Maria's like, no. And Maria does the Maria thing. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Those are our predictions. Now let's go to our survivors of the week.
Uh I'm gonna say that my castaway of the week, my goat of the week is Liz
So
because this
she's
was a
both. Hmm.
this was a great episode for Liz,
Hmm.
but then she didn't get her food, and also she's playing a pretty good like losing game. Like she just might make it to the end as a goat.
Mm. And then pulls out the, you know what, Q tried to blow up my game, but I actually orchestrated the seven move
Yeah.
and gets
Oh,
one vote.
that would be really cool actually.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool if like they bring her to the end as a goat and she's like, well, actually,
Right. Yeah.
that's the
Okay.
ultimate like that's the ultimate like goat play.
Yeah.
That's like the goat.
From goat to like greatest.
Yeah,
Well,
the
not
greatest
not
of
not.
all time goat.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For me, my castaway of the week, I mean, it's pretty obvious for me. Maria.
Yeah, Maria. I
Uh.
mean, like
Yeah. Yeah.
obviously it's Maria, but you know,
But yours is a nice take. Yours
I was gonna
is a
say
nice take that
I'm gonna say it's
Liz is
Liz
both.
because she had a good episode. Anyway,
Yeah, she had a good episode. That was yeah. It well, our thumbnail was supposed to be that iconic that now is going to become a meme. We're pretty sure it's going to become a meme that I'm pissed moment of
for
Liz. That's gonna become a meme, man.
sure. That's why it's got to be our. That's why it's got to be our. What's it?
Our
It's got to be our
thumbnail.
thumbnail.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, for me it's Maria. I don't know why I did this, but I actually likened her to well, it's a failed film, it's a failed superhero movie, but she is Madam Web. she she's I don't know why I did it, but while I was writing my notes, that's maybe it was because of the other part. She's Madam Web and she's weaving the fates of destiny of everyone else, but the other side of it is Charlie is actually Peter Parker.
Well, yeah, he looks like Andrew Garfield, right?
Right? He looks like Andrew Garfield. Precisely. That's exactly why. In the previous season, who was it?
Carson.
Carson. Carson is like what's the name? MCU Spider Man. And now we've got Andrew Garfield. Are we getting a Toby Maguire next? And then in 50,
That's our season 40 several prediction. We're gonna get
yeah,
somebody
Toby
that
Maguire.
looks like Toby Maguire. Yeah.
And so in season 50, all three of them get re-invited back.
Oh, the Survivor Verse, Sir Spider Verse.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, so Madam Web, Maria's Madam Web, and then Charlie's Peter Parker.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, the fact that she realized that Q was a number, and the way that she worked on him, and the way that she worked on Liz pushing the TIFF vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, that for me is Castaway of the Week worthy. And for me, the GOAT, unfortunately for me, the other side of that is Kenzie is the GOAT of the week. Because for
Ooh.
me, she
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fact that
Yeah.
she chicken I call it she chickened out of the TIFF move and made it Maria's move now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So
Mhm.
it became Maria's move, and for me, I mean, she was also a promising winner pick. But yeah, because of this, she's now, as you said, this wasn't a good episode for Kenzie, right?
Mm. Oh, there is
Yeah.
an Applebee's in the Philippines.
Oh, there is. Where?
BGC? Or is this
Ooh,
2015?
is it still there though?
I don't know. Sorry, I was just looking it up. Anyway,
So yeah, so Kenzie is my go to the week. What is your or who is your purple of the week?
my purple of the week is the taste of a Bourbon Street mushroom Swiss burger because none of them got to taste it.
That's a pretty good purple of the week. for me this week, my purple of the week is because we've gotten so used to it. My purple of the week is chaos with a
Martin.
Q.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Martin. Yeah. Well, that's a nice purple of the week too. But yeah, chaos with a Q. No Q chaos this week. It was peaceful. They said so in tribal. No chaos
Yeah.
energy running around. It seemed as if he was so defeated,
Yeah.
and that opened him up also to Maria's whispers. Right,
Mm.
Maria weaving her webs as Madam Web. Right. So yeah. So that's my purple of the week. Any other things that you wanna bring up?
Get well soon, Martin.
Get well soon, Martin. Yeah. Oh, Bill, before we close this out, I just want to shout out we have one new subscriber on on the channel. It is Flipside1111. He subscribed to the channel and he left a comment. Subbed. I need to see well, I need to see one of you three on a future cast. Q for the win. LOL.
Oh man. I'll be straight up like first boot.
So anyway, Flipside 1111, thanks for the sub. And like what we did reply on the channel, once Jeff once Jeff finally accepts applications from the Philippines, we will probably apply, but I don't think that I don't think that we have a chance of becoming one of the castaways, right? Or at the very
Mm.
least, we don't have a good chance of getting that far. All right.
Oh,
Anyway,
it closed.
hmm.
Applebee's closed right
Applebee's closed. Okay.
right before the pandemic.
Oh, maybe we should visit it as like Anyway, that's a memorial in memoriam. Anyway, that's it for tonight's episode. We would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like button so we don't get voted off the channel. At any rate, this has been Joel Parkon,
I'm Zhao.
and we hope to see you once again on the channel soon. Again, get well soon, Martin. We hope to see you next week, as well as you, mga kalaro. Until then, stay safe. The Titos have spoken.